Hey everyone, welcome to the next episode of Hopes for Marriage.
We're still trying to figure out where to stand in the house, so here's a new place for us to be.
Studio number 2.
So I don't know about you, but we have been feeling just the weight of the last few years, and the word that keeps coming to mind is heavy. Everything feels heavy, and that heaviness has seeped into marriages, where marriages, all we're hearing is just, it feels like hard work, like the life has been sucked out of it.
And one of the most beautiful things Jesus ever said, an invitation that came from him, was, come to me if you're heavily weighted down and burdened and overwhelmed, and I will give you rest. He says, take my yoke on you and find rest for your souls, for his yoke is easy and his burden is light. And the reality is, the yoke of Christ is something he wants us to carry, but it's a burden that has a life-giving weight to it and not a life-draining weightiness to it. And the heaviness that many of us have been feeling over the last couple of years has not been life-giving.
No.
And a lot of marriages, probably yours, has felt that and struggled under a weight of life-draining energy that we want to see replaced with the life-giving energy of God's love for you and your love for one another under the yoke of Jesus.
So we don't know where you're at. You might be doing fine, and this is just going to be a space for you to feel buoyed up and encouraged and have some just words of truth spoken into your life so that you can just keep running the race. Or you might be feeling like you're sinking and you don't have any tools in the toolbox that are working. So wherever you're at, we want to just create that space to be able to inhale and exhale freely, to give you some tools that you can hold on to, some words of encouragement, just to come alongside you. So we want to just welcome you with wherever you are to join us. We also are just going to encourage you when you get off this little episode to go ahead and take the verse that Brian mentioned and make that applicable to where you're at. I'd love for you to come up with one thing. If you come up with more, that's great. But if come up with one thing that you feel like you've been carrying that is not yours to carry, that has been a weight that Jesus wants to take from you so that you can have some lightness again. Identify what that is. Write it down. Say it out loud. Jesus, this is yours. I can't carry this anymore. And then thank him for the rest that he promises to give us and enjoy that rest. Ask him to allow you to experience that rest in a new way.
Maybe even sit down with your spouse and say, hey, here's something I've realized I've been carrying, and part of the heaviness I felt is carrying this, which you're going to write down and name and say out loud, carrying this that doesn't belong to me, and I'm wanting to let that go and hand that over to Jesus, who happily takes that burden from us. By the way, that verse is in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 and 29. And so, with that, one of our hopes for your marriage is that you can live in the truth that as heavy as it's been, it will not always be this heavy.
So take a big breath of air.
Ooh, that feels good.
And we look forward with you to see what God has for you.
Yep. See you next time.
Bye.